Hey guys, welcome to the Clubhouse. I'm Billy Jackson, and today we're going to be reviewing Ant-Man and the Wasp. I have to say, I really had a lot of fun watching this movie. Is it as good as the first one? I didn't think so. I mean, just a dip under, where the first Ant-Man I really liked. It was the first kind of actual comedy in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and I was excited to see that, and I never would have ever thought we would have an Ant-Man movie. Of course, I knew who he was, but, you guys, the casual moviegoers, don't really know these characters, until they're introduced to you in the movies. I've known about Ant-Man for 30-some years, and I never would have thought that he would have his own movie, and they did it really well. The Ant-Man that I grew up with and know was Hank Pym, and of course in the original, you see that Hank Pym is not Ant-Man anymore. He's recruiting Scott Lang to become Ant-Man, which I think Paul Rudd nails it as a Scott Lang for Ant-Man, and he is now this generation's Ant-Man. But to me, Hank Pym will always be Ant-Man. But that being said, this second movie coming in, where they're introducing the Wasp, I thought they did her really well. And the action in this movie is a lot of fun. Very well done action. We get introduced, you get the quantum realm. I can't even speak. But we get the quantum realm introduced in the first Ant-Man, but in this one, you actually go there more extensively and can see how the world kind of interacts with our world, and I thought they did that very well. I thought we were going to be there more in this movie, and we were only there a short period of time. I liked what they did with it, and the whole plot of the movie is them trying to get to the quantum realm so they can save Hank Pym's wife, and Janet Van Dyne, Hope Van Dyne's mother, with his Janet Van Dyne, played by Michelle Pfeiffer, which still looks awesome to this day, and did a very good job. And she was only in this movie for a very short period of time. I'm not going to spoil anything for this movie for you, so you can go out and enjoy it, because I definitely think it's worth, if you just want a fun movie. After, especially if you're into the MCU and you just saw Infinity War, and no spoilers for that either, but you understand the weight of how that movie ended and left a lot of people with their head in their hands, and I totally understand and get it. I thought it ended awesome. I love the ending of Infinity War. As a matter of fact, that is now my favorite comic book movie that has ever been made. I thought it was just very well done, considering what they had to do to put it together. And it's been 10 years of leading up to that movie. And Ant-Man is included in that whole 10-year span. And some people will ask, is this movie connected to Infinity War? And actually it takes place not long before the events, if not during the events of Infinity War. And I'm going to let you know right now, they do kind of give some key words that will lead you to maybe understand what might happen in Avengers 4, to solve the problem that Infinity War had. Like time portals and stuff like that, because people are speculating that they're going to go back in time for Infinity War, and that's how they're going to fix whatever Thanos did. And the quantum realm is a way to do that. But to tell you the truth, this whole entire movie from beginning to end has really, takes place before Infinity War, so there's not really a big tie-in. It's just a fun sequel to Ant-Man, which I think Ant-Man's the better movie, but this is, I'm not even going to say just as good, just a little bit under. And the only problem I have with this movie, and I have to be honest, is it felt redundant. It was about shrinking that building and somebody trying to steal that building, them stealing the building, and then them trying to chase the people and then getting the building back. Then those people are trying to get the building. So pretty much the whole movie is about them getting this building, and then after an hour of trying to getting the building, they finally get to the quantum realm and all that stuff that I was kind of waiting for this whole time. But that being said, it just felt redundant to me, like the same old thing happening over and over and over. And that's the only problem I had with the movie. Some of the jokes didn't, land as strong as in the first movie did. Paul Rudd's character kind of felt like the secondary character. Really the Wasp and Hank Pym were kind of the main characters of this movie. That's how I felt about it. But really good action, really good CGI. Normally I have a problem with CGI, but I think they did it really well in this movie. And is it worth going to theater to see? I definitely say yes. If you enjoyed the first Ant-Man, which is kind of a different kind of tone of the MCU, which is another reason why I like it, because it's different and a lot of fun to watch. Ant-Man is just a lot of fun. And this movie was a lot of fun, and I walked out feeling good about it and was happy. Definitely stay for the mid-credit scene, because that ties into Infinity War. I'm going to give that spoiler away to my friends and family. So if you don't want to know that, it's too bad. I'm not going to tell you what actually happens, but just know that a mid-credit scene is what connects to Infinity War. So if you're interested in that, stay tuned and watch those credits. But that being said, guys, I'm giving this movie a solid 8. Not that it's like an Oscar-worthy 8, but it's an 8 for the MCU movies. And I thought Ant-Man was a 9. So if I'm going to give Ant-Man a 9, I've got to give this one an 8, because it's just below Ant-Man. But anyway, I think you'll have a lot of fun watching it. You can take this movie with your kids. They'll love it, because it's kind of geared towards kids in a way, because of his daughter. And that was another thing I want to say about this movie compared to the first one, is that the first one felt like it had a better narrative flow to it. It's about Scott Lang getting out of prison and, wanting to do better for his daughter, and, the whole dynamic with him and his wife and the new boyfriend or whatever. And they're in this movie too, but they're kind of thrown in there as like silly cannon fodder, and I didn't like that. Where in the first movie, they were establishing a family dynamic, and that's what I really liked about the first Ant-Man. So that being said, they kind of just threw it all in there for this movie, and it felt jumbled and mumbled by that. So that's why I give it an 8. Definitely go and see it if you enjoy the MCU movies. I love them. They're my favorite genre going on right now. So, they're going to get high scores from me. But just know you might not give it an 8. It's an 8 in my book, because I enjoy these type of movies, and I got a lot of enjoyment out of it. So that being said, go see it and have yourself some fun and judge it for yourself. But anyway, guys, remember to like my videos and subscribe to my channel. And as always, make yourself happy every day. And the only way to do that is to remember, the only thing stopping you is you stopping. Bam!